Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Regard with feelings of respect and reverence. Consider hallowed or exalted or be in awe of. Be afraid or scared of, be frightened of. I fear the winters in Moscow. An anxious feeling. They hushed it up out of fear of public reaction. A feeling of profound respect for someone or something. The fear of God. An emotion experienced in anticipation of some specific pain or danger, usually accompanied by a desire to flee or fight. Be afraid or feel anxious or apprehensive about a possible or probable situation or event. I fear she might get aggressive. Be sorry. Used to introduce an unpleasant statement. I fear I won't make it to your wedding party. Be uneasy or apprehensive about. I fear the results of the final exams. Regard with feelings of respect and reverence. Consider hallowed or exalted or be in awe of. American silversmith remembered for his midnight ride, celebrated in a poem by Longfellow, to warn the colonists in Lexington and Concord that British troops were coming, 1735 to 1818. Love unquestioningly and uncritically or to excess, venerate as an idol. A lapel on a woman's garment, turned back to show the reverse side. Regard with feelings of respect and reverence. Consider hallowed or exalted or be in awe of. A feeling of profound respect for someone or something. The Chinese reverence for the dead. An act showing respect, especially a bow or curtsy. A reverent mental attitude. Regard with feelings of respect and reverence. Consider hallowed or exalted or be in awe of. We venerate genius. Causing fear or dread or terror. The dread presence of the headmaster. Fearful expectation or anticipation. Be afraid or scared of, be frightened of. Prefer or wish to do something. Do you care to try this dish? The work of providing treatment for or attending to someone or something. No medical care was required. Judiciousness in avoiding harm or danger. He handled the vase with care. Be concerned with. Provide care for. Attention and management implying responsibility for safety. He is in the care of a bodyguard. An anxious feeling. Care had aged him. Activity involved in maintaining something in good working order. He wrote the manual on car care. Be in charge of, act on, or dispose of. A cause for feeling concern. His major care was the illness of his wife. Feel concern or interest. I really care about my work. Be on the mind of. A commercial or industrial enterprise and the people who constitute it. A racially integrated business concern. Be relevant to. Something or someone that causes anxiety, a source of unhappiness. New York traffic is a constant concern. An anxious feeling. A feeling of sympathy for someone or something. She felt strong concern for those less fortunate. Something that interests you because it is important or affects you. The safety of the ship is the captain's concern. A feeling of profound respect for someone or something. An overwhelming feeling of wonder or admiration. He stared over the edge with a feeling of awe. Inspire awe in. The famous professor awed the undergraduates. Religious zeal. The willingness to serve God. A feeling of profound respect for someone or something. His respect for the law bordered on veneration. An emotion experienced in anticipation of some specific pain or danger, usually accompanied by a desire to flee or fight. The trait of being afraid. Cause fear in. The stranger who hangs around the building frightens me. An emotion experienced in anticipation of some specific pain or danger, usually accompanied by a desire to flee or fight. Usually preceded by, in, a detail or point. It differs in that respect. The condition of being honored, esteemed or respected or well regarded. An attitude of admiration or esteem. She lost all respect for him. A feeling of friendship and esteem. He inspires respect. Regard highly. Think much of. I respect his judgment. Show respect towards. Behavior intended to please your parents. He went to law school out of respect for his father's wishes. Courteous regard for people's feelings. Out of respect for his privacy. A courteous expression, by word or deed, of esteem or regard. Be sure to give my respects to the dean. Regard highly. Think much of. Music. The relative duration of a musical note. Hold dear. Estimate the value of. The amount, of money or goods or services, that is considered to be a fair equivalent for something else. He tried to estimate the value of the produce at normal prices. Evaluate or estimate the nature, quality, ability, extent, or significance of. An ideal accepted by some individual or group. He has old-fashioned values. A numerical quantity measured or assigned or computed. The value assigned was 16 milliseconds. Fix or determine the value of. Assign a value to. Value the jewelry and artwork in the estate. Relative darkness or lightness of a color. I establish the colors and principal values by organizing the painting into 3 values, dark, medium and light. The quality, positive or negative, that renders something desirable or valuable. The Shakespearean Shylock is of dubious value in the modern world. Goods or money obtained illegally. To move or force, especially in an effort to get something open. Regard highly. Think much of. We prize his creativity. Something given for victory or superiority in a contest or competition or for winning a lottery. The prize was a free trip to Europe. Something given as a token of victory. Hold dear. I prize these old photographs. Of superior grade. Prize carnations. To move or force, especially in an effort to get something open. Regard highly. Think much of. Make an uninvited or presumptuous inquiry. The condition of being honored, esteemed or respected or well regarded. It is held in esteem. An attitude of admiration or esteem. Look on as or consider. Regard highly. Think much of. A feeling of delighted approval and liking. Psychiatry. A relatively permanent state of worry and nervousness occurring in a variety of mental disorders, usually accompanied by compulsive behavior or attacks of panic. A vague unpleasant emotion that is experienced in anticipation of some, usually ill-defined, misfortune. Any strong feeling. Be on the mind of. I worry about the second Germanic consonant shift. Something or someone that causes anxiety, a source of unhappiness. It's a major worry. Be concerned with. I worry about my grades. Disturb the peace of mind of. Afflict with mental agitation or distress. I cannot sleep. My daughter's health is worrying me. A strong feeling of anxiety. His worry over the prospect of being fired. Be worried, concerned, anxious, troubled, or uneasy. I worry about my job. Lacerate by biting. Touch or rub constantly. Sadness associated with some wrong done or some disappointment. He wrote a note expressing his regret. Feel remorse for. Feel sorry for. Be contrite about. Decline formally or politely. I regret I can't come to the party. Express with regret. I regret to say that you did not gain admission to Harvard. Feel sad about the loss or absence of. Declare, a dead person, to be a saint. Person of exceptional holiness. Model of excellence or perfection of a kind, one having no equal. Hold sacred. A person who has died and has been declared a saint by canonization. Hold sacred. Enclose in a shrine. The saint's bones were enshrined in the cathedral. A feeling of profound love and admiration. Love unquestioningly and uncritically or to excess. Venerate as an idol. Attend religious services. They worship in the traditional manner. Show devotion to a deity. Many Hindus worship Shiva. The activity of worshipping. Sudden mass fear and anxiety over anticipated events. Panic in the stock market. An overwhelming feeling of fear and anxiety. Be overcome by a sudden fear. The students panicked when told that final exams were less than a week away. Cause sudden fear in or fill with sudden panic. The mere thought of an isolation cell panicked the prisoners. A disease of cattle and sheep attributed to a dietary deficiency, characterized by anemia and softening of the bones and a slow stiff gait. A feeling of fear and revulsion. He gives me the creeps. Fear resulting from the awareness of danger. The feeling of despair in the face of obstacles. Lower someone's spirits, make downhearted. Fill with apprehension or alarm, cause to be unpleasantly surprised. Cause fear in. Ghosts could never affright her. An overwhelming feeling of fear and anxiety. An almost pleasurable sensation of fright. A frisson of surprise shot through him. Intense aversion. Intense and profound fear. Something that inspires horror, something horrible. The painting that others found so beautiful was a horror to him. State of violent mental agitation. Neurotic disorder characterized by violent emotional outbreaks and disturbances of sensory and motor functions. Excessive or uncontrollable fear. The act of intimidating a weaker person to make them do something. A communication that makes you afraid to try something. The feeling of being intimidated, being made to feel afraid or timid. The feeling of discouragement in the face of someone's superior fame or wealth or status, etc.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.